Alright everybody, welcome to the channel. Smooth as J here, Black and Tan Media, and we're going to kind of knock out two birds with one stone today. We're going to be talking about Autel EVO's Waypoint system and some advanced operations, and kind of making sure you understand how that works. So, to get to the Waypoint system, you're going to click where it says disconnected up in the top left hand corner. So we're going to click disconnected, then I'm going to click in the middle where it says Waypoint, middle bottom. Now, this is going to say aircraft flies a predetermined flight path according to the recorded points. Next, on the back buttons, A will set waypoint, B will delete point. We won't be using those for what I'm doing right now. And remote control instructions, your left stick will allow you to rotate left and rotate right. Your right stick will give you speed up and down. So finish, and it brings you to this screen. Now, if you are connected to the drone, it's going to bring up the map a little easier, but if you click these three lines that are next to waypoint, it will allow you to do some stuff whether you're in or not. Like if you notice I push M point map, you're going to see this map here. If I want to save it, I could push save. If I want to clear them out, I could push the little arrow that's back into the left here next to waypoint. So I'm going to push that, and it gives me the option to exiting waypoint expert mode will erase all the waypoints. Do you wish to exit? I'm going to click OK. If I want to make a new waypoint map, I just click the big blue button down there that says new. So we're going to do that and look at what pops up. So we got choose how to create a waypoint. You can point on map is what I usually do. I think it defaults the first time you open it, it'll say aircraft location. There is no aircraft right now. So point on map is what I usually use. We'll also try the drawing on map later on. As of now, waypoint count is 0, total distance is 0. A finish action is to hover. Heading is set automatically towards next waypoint. You have the choice of free control, which will allow you to yaw left and right and control a little bit of your speed. And then also, you can define the heading, by the waypoint. So we're going to leave it on towards next waypoint for right now. And it doesn't say start because we don't have any waypoints figured out. So like I said, I'm going to knock out two birds with one stone. I'm going to hope I can find this, hoping I can find this without too much trouble. It's, right up here. I might zoom past there. That thing, and then this. Yep. Alright, this little spot of land, I'm going to mark some lines around it real quick. Now I'm just tapping on the screen to put these marks here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Zoom in a little bit. Come on, drop a 5. Okay, 5, and I'm going to bring it in about right there. Okay, now this is the property that I'm going to be working with today. It goes along two roads. There's a river up at the top and then a kind of tree line on that left-hand western side of the property. So, as you notice, I put on 5 waypoints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going around the property. If I want to delete those, I can just click this little red delete button. Delete, delete, delete. Now, one thing I can do, let's say I put in this 3, but I actually want a waypoint in the middle of them. I can click where that plus says D 210 feet. I can click and it'll instantly add a 3, making the other one a 4. I can also click where the orange, yellow arrow is, and I can move this around. So if I want to pull this out to follow that street, I can do that. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. So for this first mission, what I'm going to do is I'm looking over a rough shot selection that my contact with the auction company sent me. I'll read it to you real quick. Some other ideas may occur to me. I'm certainly open to suggestions from you, but I know that I want at least the following shots. Directly overhead, high altitude, freeze in video with 360 rotation, high level tracking shot from property to university in the distance. So I am not going to set that one up with a waypoint mission, but this is what I'm going to set up along now. His next set is low-level lateral passes along Halls Hill, along Trimble, and along the river. So that basically means Halls Hill is 1 to 2, is along that route. Then along Trimble is from 2, 3 to 4 is that road. And then the river would be 4 to now 5. So I'm going to go ahead and set up one for this. These are low-level lateral passes around these 3 things. But because I know what his video looks like and I know what he's wanting, I know I'm going to have to be in free control. Um, the one thing I know is I'm going to need these spots to be kind of like this 1 and 2 are, a little bit on this other side of the road. I'm going to have the drone facing back at this. So I'm going to bring this all the way over to this side of the road. And that way I get this number 3, bring it out a little bit more just to make sure I'm covering from the other side of the road. Now on 4, I'm going to drag it a little bit further up, and 5 a little bit further up, so that I know I am actually even a little further. I want to make sure I'm showing this river. And once I get out there, I may need to change this a little bit. I think I'm going to add a point in between 3 and 4. Now let's say that 4 was a mistake. I could always push delete. But if I want to add a point, it doesn't have to be on that plus mark. I can hit it right there. It's going to add it in the middle default, but I can then drag that closer or further away if I want to keep. Now you see how I kind of kept a line going around there. So that is 4 of 6 waypoints. Altitude is 197 feet. I may change that when I get to the spot, but that is what he's asking for, along Halls Hill, along Trimble, and along the river. So I might extend 6 out just a little bit to be safe. We are going to save this once we get it where we want. Things look pretty good. I think I might drag 2 a little bit further out. Let me see. No, I don't want to get too far away from the property. I want you to be able to tell where the road is. So anyway, to save time, we're going to hit OK here. That's going to allow us back into this. So it's this total distance. It gives us our 6 waypoints. I can still change if I want it under free control. I'm going to do it under free control for right now. Yeah, that's about all I can do for this one. I'm going to click save. And I'm going to call this lateral passes. I'm going to use the same word that he did. I'm going to click save on the right. Save successful. So now, if I click the back waypoint button, it'll say exiting waypoint expert mode will erase. Do you wish to exit? We're going to hope those are saved. Okay. Now you see I've popped up another one. Lateral passes is at the top of my waypoints. So we're going to move on. The next line is a south to north travel along each of the 4 auction tracks. So let's do that. We're going to be kind of doing these rough, but I think I can actually do a better job. Again, we're going to point on map. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to come back to this. I have a map here in front of me that shows where they have broken this into 4 sections. And I'll kind of show you as I set this one up. Going down the middle of this looks like it would be about here to here, maybe a little bit further. Okay, that would be that tract, yep, right down the middle. Maybe a little bit more, because it only barely starts to touch that water feature there. So there, then I'm going to add one. Where's my next spot going to be? Okay, back about here, maybe a little closer. Yeah, actually a little closer looking at the lines here. A little closer here. Now I'm also going to do a straight line back in the middle of this. So now this is also a kind of similar design you might see for some simple mapping. That's something I'm going to do another video and cover a little bit more in depth. Now this line goes up to about here and then bends a little bit back. So I'm going to follow the shape of the auction tract there. Yeah, that's about right. Bring that in a little bit. Just a little bit. 7. Now bring this back to, where is that? So middle would be about where that line is. Okay. Drag it back in a little bit more. And then we're going to go all the way diagonally to about here, and then to here. So these lateral passes, they have some lines connecting them, but they're basically 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6 to 7, and then 8 to 9. So those are 4 lateral passes showing the 4 auction tracks. I'm going to leave that at, let's drop this down just so I don't forget. Let's drop it down to 150. I'm pretty sure that's going to clear the trees in the area. Haven't been out there yet, so I might have to change that, but we'll check it. So, again, I could add some points in here if I needed to, but that's all I really need for this. I might pull this a little bit further over. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to hit OK. Okay, now, on this one, I do, let's say, return to first point, and I do want it to face towards the next waypoint, so I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to click Save up in the right. Now, for this one, I'm going to call this for auction tracks. Done. Save. Save successful. Okay. Now, I don't do this for that many missions. A lot of times I fly totally by myself, but this is a 31-acre property, and I'll be honest, I want to impress the guy a little bit. This is the first time I've worked with this auction company, and I'd love to really get to work with them some more in the future. So I'm gonna do at least one more of this kind of advanced waypoint stuff. I'm gonna click OK here. That will exit this. So we see our 4. I'm going to do a new one, and with this one, we're going to try the draw on the map just for fun. It is a little bit different. As you can see, you can still move them around, but it doesn't give you as easy a, now after that's drawn, as I try to draw again, it's just moving the map. So I would have to delete these and do it again. I'm going to move in. So my next thing written down is 6 mid-level passes over the property as a whole, north to south, south to north, and a crisscross in all 4 directions. So, going from south to north, I'm going to go north to south like he said, but I'm going to be closer to this house. So I'm going to start here. There is south to north. I'm going to drag that out a little bit. Now, actually, wait, we're doing the drawing, so let's do it. South, no, let me draw. Oh, it changed. Let's say draw on map again. Draw, 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 draw. So, you see how I did that? I'm going to delete them all again. Let's go south. Alright. It defaults back to point on map. So let's say draw on map. Oh, I get it. Okay. So if I say draw on map, it will allow me to draw on the map. But as soon as I pick up, it's going to go back to point on the map. So let's do this again. We're going to go south to north, east to west, okay, I got that off. Let me think. What did I do the other time? Okay, I did south. Oh, wait. That's right. Draw on map. South to north. Now, see, I like it. My line was very crooked, but it still made a straight line, which I do like on this case. I'm going to go a little bit smaller. Let's go south. No. Draw on map. South to north. Here. Alright, here we go. South. Let's do this. This will make sense. Draw on map. South to north. North to south. East to west. west to east, crisscross, crisscross. So that is a little complicated there, but that's actually pretty much what he wants. I'm going to drag this one out a little bit more across that part of the property. That's from one side to the other. I'm going to drag this number 7 up to the real corner of the property. You notice I'm coming a little bit off of the property here to get my bird in a proper position to get the whole property. So I'm starting at 1, I'm going north to south. So that actually looks pretty good. He said mid-level passes, so I'm going to put that at 175, just not 475. 175. Done. We're going to save that one, and we're going to call that mid-level passes. Mid-level passes done. I'm going to click save. So that is your mid-level passes on this. So my next things on my list are feature shots, assorted pretty views of the house, view grounds from above house with roof line in the foreground, ascent from ground level at Trimble to above homes, pond views, rising from low ground to rear to secondary drive on Trimble Road. Again, open to other concepts. So that's basically all that he has given me at this point. Those feature shots, I'm not going to try to make a waypoint mission out of those. So I'm not going to waste too much more of your time here, but I thank you for checking out this video. This is kind of a little bit more advanced look at the waypoint system than I've gone into. You do have other options that we didn't cover in depth, so if you have questions about those, let me know. You have stuff like finish action where you can hover, go home. Do you want it to land or do you want it to return to the first point? A lot of times I say return to first point if I'm going to be there. It defaults to your heading being towards next waypoint, but if you switch it to free control, that allows you to freely control the yaw using your left stick, and you can also control a little bit of speed with your right. So also your heading defined by waypoint is wherever the waypoint is, that's where it's going to, actually I'd have to experiment, don't get me lying. I haven't really used the defined by waypoint yet too much, so let me see, what does it say? Defined by waypoint, each waypoint can be set to different direction, but waypoint nose direction can't be adjusted by remote control when performing the mission. Okay, so you can decide which way you want it to face with each waypoint, but you can't control it during the time. So anyway, if for some reason you want to clear this out, you would just click the little back button. It's going to say exiting the expert mode will erase all the airpoint. Actually, so before I go, I will show you a little bit more on something. Let's look at this, what I have D-point map. This is a little neighborhood. If you notice how I did this, this might be a little confusing not seeing it going, but it starts on the left here with number 1. 1, 2, 3, and it goes up to 4, over to 5, up to 6, which is kind of hidden, over to 7. If you could see, I'm making kind of backwards and forth straight lines back and forth over this property. What I did for this was a mapping mission I was experimenting with. I set it to do these passes. I did it with your automatic shutter set to take a picture every 5 seconds. So that's pretty easy to do. I can't do because I don't have the drone and camera hooked up right now, but you just set up your mode to be timed and set it for sometimes 2 seconds, sometimes 5 seconds. 5 seconds worked well for me for a kind of medium quality map. But that is kind of the basics of how the waypoint system works. You can also use the aircraft location. I can't do that right now because I'm not hooked up to the aircraft. But using that, you push the little buttons on the back, and wherever the aircraft is, you push A, which is on the, looking at the controller from the front, it's on the left hand side, and then if you want to delete that waypoint spot, you push B. Now, that could be really helpful if you're actually already out there flying and you don't know the map that well and you just want to fly over the areas and get your shot perfectly. You can then click your waypoint in and you'll be able to always repeat that waypoint if you save your waypoint mission. So, if you got more questions, let me know. When you do have a waypoint missions here, they give you waypoint counts, total distance. It can help you figure out if you're interested in more mapping. I plan to do a little bit more in videos on those. There's some websites you can look up that will help you figure out how to cover the area the best, depending upon how large of an area you want to cover. But other than that, thanks for checking out this video. If you liked this, please subscribe. It helps out the small channels like mine. And drop me a comment. Let me know if you liked the video or if you'd like to see, something else, or tell me if I got something wrong. I'm always open to learning and hearing if I made a mistake. So hopefully this helps you. Thanks for checking out the video. Safe, happy flying, everybody. Take it easy.